Hello folks, welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and the 1000 sub Q&A special. First off, I want to say sorry for the delay. I know I said it was only going to run it for about a week, and I ended up running it for about a month. Part of that was because I wanted to finish up my Skyrim and Star Wars Let's Plays. I wanted to get those uploaded. I didn't want this lost amongst the mass uploads. I was doing probably 6-7 uploads a day, so I just wanted to wait a little bit. Secondly, just a heads up, I tend to be pretty long-winded. I like to think it's because I'm intellectual and have a lot to say, but it probably just means that I tend to prattle on. So, be advised, this might take a while, but hey, if you're interested, listen up. And thirdly, you are just watching some TF2, Team Fortress 2 footage I recorded earlier. I thought you would probably rather watch that than just stare at me, look at the camera very awkwardly for however long it's going to take me to do this. And lastly, last but not least, I want to thank you guys for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm very, very proud of that. I hope to hit 2,000, 5,000, 20,000, 100,000 eventually. But you guys are in at the ground floor. So, hey, thanks a lot for that. I really actually do appreciate it. And remember, as I always say in my videos, comments are what I love. I love comments. I love having subscribers, but I also love hearing comments. So if you guys want to give me constructive criticism on my videos, like, hey, I can hear you making noises with your mouth, or you say too much, or I wish you would do this, whatever. As long as you do it in a non-assholey way, I'm totally open to criticism. That's what I want to hear. Or if you just want to say, that's what I like that you do, post that too. I like to know, without getting feedback from you guys, I don't know what parts of the videos you like and what parts you don't like. So I'm just kind of flying blind. Anyway, let's stop rambling and let's get to the questions. First off, we have Mega French Dude. He says, what is your favorite video game? And the old good standard question that's actually really good for an LPer. My answer is, as often is, I don't have a favorite. There's not one game I can look at and say, I like this game more than every other game ever made. But if you want to talk about top of my list, we're talking the Fallout series, going all the way from the very first Fallout to all the new ones. The Thief series, I love the Thief series. My God, I love the Thief series. Thief series is just, and again, I told you I'm long-winded, so sorry. If you just wanted short and simple answers, probably not going to get those here. Anyway, I love the Thief series. It's just a perfect combination of things to make an awesome experience. It's not just the stealth gameplay. It's the gameplay, it's the atmosphere, the voice acting, the music, the artwork, the cinematics. All of it just comes together and creates this very awesome world that you're playing in. It's just fantastic. If you've not played those games, I highly, highly suggest that you do. Team Fortress 2, I would actually put that at the top. I would actually have a hard time justifying not putting it at the top, since I've put in, last I checked, about 400 plus hours into that game. Probably one of the most played games I've ever, played in my life. So, very hard not to put that near the top. Vampire Bloodlines, in my opinion, probably one of the best, if not the best, maybe not the best, but one of the best RPGs ever made. I can load that game up now, even with the terrible graphics, and play the hell out of it, because I really enjoy it. Yes, I will do an LP of it someday, as I probably will of the Thief series and the Fallout series. Theme Hospital, a lot of you might not have heard of Theme Hospital. It was by Bullfrog, rest in peace. It was basically where you design a hospital and you try to attract patients, you diagnose them, cure them, etc. I know that sounds really boring, but it had a comic spin on it. It wasn't serious. Great game. I love those type of games. Also, the Tropico and Pharaoh series, games where you, I don't know how to, I never can figure out how to explain these correctly, but basically you have a people who have needs, and you have to fill those needs. Like Tropico, you're trying to make money, you're trying to make your people happy, so you have to build churches and houses, and you get to provide them with jobs. I love that kind of thing. I get sucked into that so badly. It's one of those genres where I can of games I can just start playing, and all of a sudden 4 hours have just flown by. But anyway, next question we have, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Joe Sherm Jaeger, I'm assuming, or Jaeger. Anyway, he asks, how about why are you so awesome? I don't really know why I'm awesome. I think partially is because I'm, as some viewers have said, and the girlfriend finds this incredibly hilarious, is that they said I was the Bob Ross of LPs. I think that's why I'm awesome. I'm very much like Bob Ross. I'm saying, look at the beautiful carnage going by. Oh, and look at that blood splat against the wall. It looks like a sunshine beating down on a happy tree. I don't know why. I think that was an interesting comparison, especially because I love Bob Ross. But other than that, I have no idea why you think that I'm awesome. I think I have a lot of work to do, but I definitely appreciate your thinking that I am awesome. Max2T Full asks, do you have a girlfriend or a wife, and do you have any children? I do have a girlfriend. We've been dating for, oh god, she hurt me, 3 years, 2.5 years, somewhere in there. And she's the one I often refer to as the little woman. She's also the one in the very first Skyrim video who made that Steam message where I said, don't read that. She, by the way, thinks that's hilarious. Do I have any children? Negative, I do not. I'm not going to make that joke of none that I know of because it's been overdone, even though I just did it. So there you go. That one guy, 6047. Hello, that one guy. Been commenting on my Star Wars videos. Will you be continuing your amazing Terra Let's Play series? If so, when possibly? Funny you should ask, because I have just started playing Terra again yesterday. So I have some footage recorded. I just have to splice it together and upload it. That will probably be going up maybe Tuesday. Tuesday the 3rd of July. Because I have some Skyrim to upload before that. And thank you for thinking that it's amazing. Because as I've said a bunch, MMOs to me are very, very difficult to keep interesting because it's so repetitive. You're doing the same thing over and over. It's a fun thing to play, but it's not really, there's not a lot of material to work with, right? There's not, new story elements or new abilities that are popping up or whatever. It's just very difficult. So I'm very glad that people like my MMO LPs. I actually started, I'm going on a tangent, but I'll try to make it short. I actually started my LP, I believe, with Rift. I think Rift was the first MMO that I ever LP'd. It was an experiment just to see if people liked it, and actually a lot of people did, and I got a lot of subscribers for it. So, and oddly enough, one of my most popular videos, single videos, is my EverQuest 2 intro LP video. I don't quite understand why. I'm very glad people enjoy it. I never thought that would be one of my most viewed, but hey, go figure. Let's see. Unlucky1307 says, do you like furries? Kidding, I just had to be sort of a smartass since I saw your Skyrim rant. But seriously, do you go to college? And if so, what do you major in? Obviously, no, I do not like furries. As you've heard my rant about them, which I don't hate them, I just think they're incredibly odd. But did I go to college? Yes, I did. I actually majored in computer science. However, I dropped out after 2 years because, and this is going to sound a little weird, but school was getting in the way of my work because I was working in the computer science area. I was programming, and I was having to leave work early to go to classes like art appreciation and other wastes of my time and money. And I don't even want to get into the BS that I think 4-year educations are. But let me say that if you are in college or in a certain situation, don't do what I did. Go ahead and stick with it. That degree actually matters a lot. It doesn't mean anything depending on, well, if you're a doctor, yes. But, and again, I don't want to get a side tangent, but yes, it's important. Stay in school, kids. Let's see. I wish I would have finished for another reason, because then I would be called a scientist. Even though I'm not a real scientist, just computer science. Anyway, from Alex, area code. Hello, Alex. He is a frequent or female, I don't know. Alex could be either way. I want to say thank you for coming by Twitch. I recognize your name. And if I don't recognize your name, I apologize. My memory is horrific. Anyway, Alex Area Code says, nice job on getting 1,000. First, if you could be any character in any game, who would it be and why? This is a really good question. And actually, all of his questions are good. I thought about that for a while. And again, I never have one answer for anything because I'm a total wuss. And I cop out by giving several answers. A few I thought of would be Dante from Devil May Cry because he's a total smooth badass. He kicks the shit out of demons, can get dressed in midair, all kinds of really cool acrobatics, and he's probably, really smooth with the ladies, just like me. Okay, not at all. Also, maybe Garrett from Thief because he's very stealthy. I like the whole being able to... Not that I would actually do this, of course, but being able to sneak in, to break into anywhere and just get out. Nobody knows you were ever there. And he's just very calm and cool. Love that. Love Garrett. He also has a bitching voice. Darth Revan from Knights of the Old Republic, but you didn't see that one coming. Darth Revan because he's ridiculously powerful. Actually, my Darth Revan was a female, but anyway, Darth Revan because he or she is incredibly powerful. One of the most powerful Jedi/Sith or whatever he turns out to be around, and I think that would just be totally sweet to control that much power. Or Scrooge McDuck. And yes, Scrooge McDuck was in DuckTales, the NES game, so this counts. But yes, Scrooge McDuck because he is insanely rich, so rich he can swim in money. Which, by the way, if you ever got that money and converted it into coins, don't ever dive headfirst into it because that's going to be a very quick end to your richness. You will probably snap your neck, and if you're lucky, end up in a wheelchair. Next question was, second, if you could date or marry any character in a game, who and why? Again, I actually thought about this one, and by the way, I like these questions where I have to think about the answer. I had to think about this one for a while, because obviously a lot of people are immediately going to jump to, oh yeah, let me think of, there's so many hot video game babes. I'll go with Ivy from, Soul Calibur. It's like, well, I that kind of thing is nice but fleeting. I've dated women that were really, really hot, but then dumb, and you can't have a conversation with them. You can't relate. It's just not awesome. So you're talking about marriage? And yes, I thought way too much about this question. But anyway, my selection would be probably Alex from Half-Life. She's awesome. She kicks ass. She seems level-headed person. She seems like she's not crazy. She just seems like a really cool all-around chick. She's a survivalist, so, all things go to hell. She can help me from getting my ass kicked. Or she could kick my ass if I stepped out of line, which I guess could be bad. But yeah, Alex from Half-Life, awesome. One of my favorite female characters in video games. Mostly from a looks perspective, sexiness perspective. Maybe Morrigan from Dragon Age. I want to say Dark Age. Dragon Age. She's kind of a badass. Obviously sexy as hell. But I like her kind of a snotty, maybe not snotty, but smart-assy attitude. I like her general snarky attitude. Problem with her is she would probably just use me to knock her up and then kill me. So, not maybe a great choice. Damsel from Vampire Bloodlines. Now, I don't know how that would work. Again, the reason I like her is because she's a badass. She doesn't take any shit from anybody. And she's very upfront. She's not going to be timid or beat around the bush. She's going to tell you exactly what she's thinking. Problem, she's a vampire. So that's not fortunate. But I don't like to go out in the sunlight either. So, hey, it could work out. The problem I see with women in games is, a lot of the other examples I try to think of, they, were, hot women in games or huge boobs and they're wearing skimpy clothing all the time. That's, great, but it's not something you want in a partner. And gaming has had not the greatest history portraying any women in roles like that without making them ditzy or insane or both, or just a typical, oh, I need the man to save me, blah blah blah. And I'm not a feminist or anything, but that's just unfortunate and needs to change. But without going on a rant, anyway, that's why I really couldn't think of anyone else. I'm sure there's plenty of other great examples. I just couldn't think of any. Let's see. Last question. What do you hate the most? Just talking generally, what do I hate the most? Again, I don't really have a thing I really hate more than anything else. I have plenty of things that I do. I hate ignorant people who are not people who just don't know things, but they're like willfully ignorant. Like they don't know how something works. They don't understand things, and they don't want to change. They don't want to educate themselves, like on the science of things. People like like the conspiracy nuts who will believe some certain X conspiracy, and when you try to say, oh well, these facts that you're trying to state are not true, or blah blah blah, they just immediately blow it away, like, oh no, that's what they want you to think, and any evidence against the conspiracy is evidence for the conspiracy, that kind of thing. I hate that, and also the ignorance of it's my way or the highway. Like, this is how my morals work, therefore everybody should be forced to go by these morals. Like people against gay marriage because the Bible says gays are an abomination or whatever. That's great that you feel that, but you don't get to tell other people how they live their life. So that kind of thing really builds the hate in me. The last thing, and this is actually somewhat topical, is labels being thrown on people just because you don't agree with them. Like, there's a big thing with feminism and misogyny on the internet now, or basically everything that happens, anytime a man does anything remotely wrong against a woman, he's automatically labeled a misogynist. Or if you don't go along with the brain trust, you're automatically labeled a misogynist or a woman hater. And that's ridiculous. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I hate women. I just might not agree with you on a certain point. Things like that I really, really hate. Lastly, I really hate when people call achievements Chivos. God! Why? Why? Oh, dear God. Why? Do not ever call achievements Chivos. Holy shit. That, like, I don't know what it is, but that makes you want to strangle someone. Oh, my God. Chivos. Wow. Oh, Lord. Anyway, that's enough of that. D30PPED. Maybe that's supposed to be doped or deopt? I don't know. Sorry. Do you live by the ocean, and what state? Technically, I guess my state is close to the ocean, but I do not live close to the ocean myself. I live in Georgia, but I live in the northwest section of Georgia, so stalkers get to work. Actually, I'm not popular enough to have stalkers. Oh well. Anyway, no, I don't live by the ocean. I do live in Georgia. It is hotter than a mofo this week, too. It got up to 103 degrees. So it sucks. But I like the state fine. A lot of rednecks and some racism problems still going on. Mr. Cromster. Hello, Mr. Cromster. It's another name I recognize. Hey, Tea Party, are you going to re-roll a new character when the Skyrim I think it means DLC comes out? Like maybe a Knight or Blade Master or someone who does close combat. Love your LPs and congratulations on the 1,000 subs. Well, first off, thank you very much. And I don't think you have to re-roll with Dawnguard when Dawnguard comes out. Not that you were suggesting that, but I will. If that's the case, if I don't have to, I will not re-roll. I like my character. I like the way I've built her. I like the way she is now. So no, I will not be re-rolling. I might do a little bit more melee just for funsies, but I'm not going to re-roll. Mr. Alcon61. I'd like to ask how and why you started this channel, and congratulations. I'm sure your number of subscriptions will be 2,000 in no time. Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Alcon61. I started, here we go, long segue. So, I started watching LPs, like I found them, and I was like, oh my god, Let's Plays, this is the greatest thing ever, because I've always been kind of a not in a sexual way, kind of a voyeur. I've always loved to watch other people play games. I like to play them myself, but heck, I used to enjoy just going to the arcade or the cyber cafe in our area and just watch other people play and talk to them and just watch and see what they do. Loved it. I've always loved that. So when I found LPs, I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. So the more I watched, the more I was like, I'd actually like to try this. I'm kind of funny. I like to play games. Why not? But when I started, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted my LPs to be more along the lines of, hey, it would be like watching a movie. I wanted someone who didn't have knowledge or interest necessarily in the game to be able to sit down and watch it and enjoy it just because of the way it was done. My first attempt at that, in fact, only attempt, was for Bioshock 2. What I would do is I would play through part of a level like 2 or 3 times to find a route which hit up all the recordings and made it interesting, as constant as possible, like constant action or constant recording playing, and then I would record it and then splice them all together. In fact, if you look at my LP channel, it's still there. I didn't finish it because it did take a lot of time to do it, because I basically had to play through the game 3 times at minimum, because I would play first to see what was there, the second time to try to find a more efficient route, and then the third time would be actual recording. Sometimes there would be more than that, almost never less than 3. But anyway, I still think it's an interesting idea where someone could just sit down and watch it like it were a movie with no commentary, but it's not something I'm probably going to continue to pursue. But once, I don't know really why, but I decided, I want to try doing this with audio commentary. I am terrible at multitasking, and I think you can see, especially if you watch some of my old LPs, that I struggle with talking and playing at the same time. I've gotten better, but I'm still have issues with it, especially I have to concentrate. My first voiced LP was Dead Space 2, which, quite frankly, I think is really bad. I do not like it at all. I use the word bitch like constantly. It's just bad. I mean, there's good parts, but overall, I kind of cringe when I watch it. But that's how I got into LPs. Let's see. Oh, Lemon Freak 25 says nice on 1000. Thank you, sir. It's not a question, but thank you anyway. I'm not gonna pronounce this. Geronaud, Geroenoud. I am curious if you will continue your sniper playthrough soon. Obviously, I haven't. He posted this way before I updated, but yes, I've not only started again, but I have finished it, as you probably are well aware. Fresh Up from My Feet Up, that's another name that I recognize. I can answer the oh, he's answering someone else's question. Nate Killer asks, and that's another name I recognize, that Killer 1904. I think they're a consistent viewer on the Twitch channel. What got you started on YouTube? Why did you pick the name Vertigo Tea Party? And congrats on the channel. I knew when I first started watching LPs you would be big. Well, thank you, Nate Killer. What got me started on YouTube? Well, I kind of answered that before with the previous thing. I actually had another channel. I guess technically my very first game was Wolverine Origins, Wolverine Origins on the Xbox. I captured it with a Dazzle. It was, again, no commentary. I was just finding all the items. I was trying to keep it consistent. I didn't like the quality of the videos because I was using a Dazzle, and I didn't like my channel name. And I decided, well, if I'm going to choose an LP channel, it's smarter to just remake it now than to get, start getting viewers and then say, oh, I need to change this channel because it's a bad name. So yeah, that's how I got started. Technically was with Wolverine, and I got started on YouTube because that's where all the other LPs that I was watching was doing it, even though I know there's LPs on like Something Awful and whatnot. Why did you pick the name Vertigo Tea Party? Vertigo Tea Party is a name I came up with actually quite a while back, before WoW was even started. It does have to do with Alice in Wonderland. because I like the whole Alice in Wonderland mythos, whatever. And that's where the Tea Party part comes down. Vertigo, I've always just thought Vertigo was a cool name. Also, I liked the character Vertigo in Primal Rage, the old dinosaur fighting game. I thought he was awesome. And I always thought, oh, Vertigo, that's a great name. That's a cool name. And it stuck with me from when I was playing Primal Rage in the arcades. So that's... And Vertigo sort of kind of goes with the Tea Party because Vertigo is that sense like you're off balance. I'm not really describing it right. But in a nutshell, I thought Vertigo Tea Party, those two things just kind of came together. It just kind of came to me all of a sudden. I was trying to think of a guild name for WoW, I believe. And that just came up out of nowhere, and I've stuck with that name ever since. Let's see. Fresh up from my feet up. 1, what is your favorite kind of game and why? Again, I don't really have a favorite kind. I really, really like open world RPGs where I can just go around, do what I want, be a bad guy, be a good guy, whatever. Sorry, I keep messing with these super bottle caps. And I also love the Tropico, Caesar 3, Pharaoh type games where you build like an infrastructure and you have to meet the people's needs and all that. I love that kind of game. Really sucks me in as well. 2, where are you from? I'm from Georgia. I've lived here most of my life. 2 years, my sophomore and junior years of high school. I actually lived in Wyoming with my dad. Other than that, I've always lived in Georgia. What made you want to start making YouTube videos? Kind of answered that already. Just watched other people and wanted to try it myself. Can you LP Amnesia with a face cam? Technically, the answer to that is yes, I can. But will I? Almost certainly not. The reason being that I have seen so many LPs of Amnesia that I know pretty much everything that happens. So it will be kind of pointless because I won't be scared at all. I'll just run through the thing, go, oh, I know this thing comes through the water here. Oh, yep, here he comes. All right, I need to run this way. So it would not be interesting at all because I wouldn't be scared. I tend not to get scared a lot in games anyway. Except Resident Evil Remake for the GameCube, which permanently traumatized me. Other than that, I tend not to get scared at games a lot, except games with jump scares, and I hate jump scares, so that's not a good combo. Anyway, yeah, probably not going to happen. Awesome Dude 238, what's the best game you've ever played? That kind of goes along with my favorite games. There isn't really... Short answer, I don't really have best game I've ever played. Let's see. The Lion King 505, and that's a lion with a Y. I was part of the first 1,000 subs. Wow, I feel interesting. Well, again, not a question, but thanks, and you should feel interesting. Mr. Rodland asks, I love you, man. Well, thank you. Still can't get how you only have 1,000 subs. Your commentaries are CNANer status, maybe even better. Have a nice vacation. Question equals, what was your first name? First off, again, thank you. I don't know if I'm quite up to CNANer status, but I'm working on it. What is your first name? My first name is Johnny. Very, very easy to remember. Like Johnny 5 is alive. Next question. Epic Pie Time. That's a great name. I was part of the first 840, so there, Lion King. Anyway, have a nice break. Look forward to seeing more of your videos. Well, thank you, and don't get snotty with each other. I'm going to have to separate you kids. See, blah, blah, blah. See, make some other comment about his old account. Let's see. Shady with a capital S, another one of my Twitch viewers. In a fight between Macho Man Randy Savage and Jesus, who would win? Let's see. You know, does Macho Man Randy Savage, 1, have time to prepare? And 2, is it the dead Macho Man Randy Savage or the living? Because if he's dead, that can make a big difference. Because now he's like mystical, and he has superpowers. Like his already incredible earthly powers are enhanced. So now he's really a force to be reckoned with. Versus Jesus, I mean, Jesus is going to be sitting there making wine and turning blind people to see. Macho Man Randy Savage is going to throw the DDT on his ass. So I think it's no contest. I think Macho Man is going to kick the shit out of Jesus. That's my opinion. Let's see. Husfinsterness, also someone who has actually been watching my Twitch from the very beginning, maybe even first day or two. Also, you could check out his channel. He has LPs, and you can hear him butcher the English language. It's fantastic. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, hers. Okay, you asked for it, so here I go. If there was a game that let you play as a Taliban, and it's set in Washington, letting you do stuff in a Splinter Cell, like Splinter Cell or Modern Warfare, would you enjoy to play stuff like that? If it was more like Splinter Cell, yes. If it was more like Modern Warfare, probably not. I would probably play it for the novelty value, but on the Call of Duty or the Modern Warfare front, I don't really enjoy the realistic quote unquote shooters. I'm just very, very tired of them and have been for a long time. If it was Splinter Cell like, I'd probably give it a whirl. I definitely wouldn't not play it just because it's the Taliban or whatever. I'm not into, oh my god, I'm emulating the Taliban. I don't care. I could be anybody. I could be emulating Hitler. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change who I am or how I feel about things, and I'm not encouraging the Taliban, despite what Fox News would have you say. Shady with a capital S. What one book, music album, and video game, any platform, no internet, would you take to a deserted island? Well, he killed me on the no internet thing. The book, this might seem like an odd answer, would be a puzzle book of some kind. Something with a bunch of logic puzzles that would be difficult to figure out, because I figure a book like that would probably keep me more entertained than anything else, than just any kind of work of fiction or nonfiction. Let's see, for music, it'd be a choice of probably one of three things. Either Nirvana's Nevermind, Nirvana in Utero, or one of those like compilations of the monk chanting discs. I love the monk chant stuff. I know it's random, but hey, those are my choices. Games would be something that could keep me, like, I could play it a bunch of different ways. So probably like Tropico or one of the Sim Cities, something like that. Something I could play, a bunch of different ways, again, because now I'm stuck on this island. I need something that's going to help me kill a lot of times. You also asked in a separate question, what about movie? Movie, I'm thinking either The Godfather, because The Godfather is one of the greatest movies ever made, and it's long, or maybe one of my odd documentaries that I really like Confessions of a Superhero, or I Think We're Alone Now. Both great documentaries, both on Netflix. Check them out. I love weird, quirky documentaries about really bizarre people. Fantastic. Let's see. Dr. Ike 98 says, "Congrats. Will you be continuing Skyrim or the Sniper Let's Play?" Again, this was posted a long time ago, so sorry about that. Anyway, obviously, yes, the Sniper LP is finished uploading. You probably already knew that. Skyrim, I've actually quote-unquote finished Skyrim. I just need to splice it and upload it. That will be this week sometime. All of it should be up this week sometime. And Terra after that. Cottonesian asks, "Congrats! Where do you work at for a living, so that you can get your Kung Pao chicken on Fridays? And what do you do there? Also, how many games do you have both played and unplayed?" I don't really like to say where I work. It's not like I work in some top secret thing, but I just think probably it's best I don't mention it. I don't really know why. I don't think it really matters. It's probably just me being overly paranoid. But I'd rather not talk about where I work. I will say I work for a security software company, so you can think about that. As far as what I do there, I'm actually a quality assurance engineer. I like throwing the engineer on the end because it sounds all fancy. Basically, I try to break other people's code and point out why they suck at coding, which is actually not what happens. Me and all the developers, we're all cool. But yes, they hand me builds of the software, and then I try to find flaws with it and give it back and say, hey, fix this. That's, in a nutshell, what I do every day. Let's see. How many games do you have, both played and unplayed? I couldn't give you a really accurate number, partially because I have games stacked in boxes somewhere where the discs, like I haven't even seen the physical discs in years. I also got a bunch of PlayStation games and console games that I don't really play that much. I also have tons of digital games like Steam, GOG, Direct to Drive. I would say easily over 100. How many unplayed? I want to say maybe half of those. Either not played at all or not played much. Maybe not half, maybe like 40%. It's very high. So I still have tons of stuff to play, and I have absolutely no concerns about running out of games to LP. That will not happen. Let's see. Bobby Man 6969. Is it possible for multiplayer? I'd love to play with you sometime. Also, where would you recommend I go to explore and level up? Also, besides Dunmer, what would you suggest for archery and heavy armor? Possibility of multiplayer, yes, absolutely. I would like to do some multiplayer at some point. Maybe like Diablo, or if somebody's in any. I've always posted my name for things like Terra and Star Wars. So if you want to hop on and add me as a friend, and if we're in the same level range, we can group all that good stuff. I'm totally up for that. I also would not be against at all setting up multiplayer times to play, like playing on Diablo or whatnot. I need to get to 60 first, but if there's people in my level range, that works too. As far as the question, where do you recommend I go to explore and level up? Considering your next question, I'm assuming you're talking about Skyrim, and if that's the case, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I mean, your skills, you level up based on your skill progression, and so it doesn't really matter where you go. I like dungeons personally because I think the dungeons are give me that more dungeon crawl feel that I enjoy. Other than that, doesn't honestly really matter if you're talking about Skyrim. And the next question regarding besides Dunmer, what would you suggest for archery with heavy armor? Honestly, again, it does not matter. The initial points you get are nice, but in the long run, it just doesn't matter. I mean, you could pick the race that has no archery skills, and you're still going to get your archery up pretty quick. Because remember, your early points come very quickly. So the difference is as far as skill points, really, really marginal. What really matters is the actual abilities. If you're trying to maximize, like orcs get that ridiculous berserk ability but I think that's melee, but it's really, really good. But I never really pick for that. I pick for the race that I like. So it doesn't, in a long story short, doesn't matter. You'll still end up about the same. And lastly, again, Shady with a capital S, you would hit everything from werewolves to talking corpses to spider queens to grandma. Is there anything you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole? I wouldn't say it hit anything. Okay, I do say it all the time. Anything I would not touch with a 10-foot pole? Rosie O'Donnell and Dr. Laura. Not because I just find them physically repulsive, but I mostly find them repulsive because of things that they've done, things that they've said, mentalities that they harbor, especially Dr. Laura. Rosie O'Donnell, not quite as bad. Dr. Laura is a horrible human being. I cannot stand that witch. She's just a horrible person. Terrible human being. Also, Caitlyn from Song of Ice and Fire, or as a lot of you know, Game of Thrones. Again, this is nothing against the actress. I'm not saying the actress is unattractive or ugly or whatever. I'm just saying the character from the books I hate. I despise Caitlyn from Song of Ice and Fire. I won't say there's no redeeming qualities, but of that series, there is no person I hate more than her. She is a total bitch. No. God, what a bitch. Anyway, yeah, no, I hate Caitlyn from Game of Thrones. But anyway, that's all the questions. It only took like 45 minutes to get through there. Sorry for the long-winded answers. Some of you might enjoy it. Some of it you're probably fast-forwarding through, or you've stopped by now, so you're not even hearing this. But one thing I do want to say before you guys cancel, wait, don't click it yet. I wanted to throw out that you guys should follow me on Google Plus and Twitter. My Twitter address is just twitter.com/MalachiVT. That's MALACHAIVT. If you missed that, it's this all information is in my YouTube account information. I've got links, so just go in there, follow me on YouTube. Follow me on. Well, you probably already follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Google Plus. Google Plus, I really love Google Plus. Don't let the haters hate too much. I hate that description, by the way. But yeah, don't let people talk down about Google Plus and don't buy it. Google Plus is incredibly active, but you can't use it like Facebook. You can't just go on there, add people you like, and that's it. It doesn't work that way. You have to add people in industries that you enjoy. Just like Twitter. You wouldn't go on Twitter and only follow people that you know. That would make it worthless. So anyway, yes, follow me on G+, follow me on Twitter. I tend to post things either related to the channel or when I'm about to stream or just, general things that I want to say on there. Also, if you're interested, I do stream pretty regularly on Twitch TV. My address on there is twitch.tv/Vertigo Tea Party. Again, all this information is in my channel description. But yes, if you subscribe to me on Twitch TV, it emails you anytime that I go live. So that's another thing you can check me out on. But again, I want to thank you guys again for helping me reach 1,000. Actually, we're at over 1,100 now. But yes, thanks a lot. Again, please remember to comment on videos. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and keep watching. And I will see you next time.